answering the very narrow legal question which is incumbent on me to answer in a matter of this nature, and that is whether or not the police officer at the time he discharged his weapon had a reasonable apprehension of imminent death or great bodily harm. And because, of course, as you all know, the burden of proof is always on the government, and the standard of proof is proof beyond a reasonable doubt. We can reverse that question, as the report indicates in great detail, to one of, is there evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that would prove that the officer's fear of death or great bodily harm was unreasonable? And the answer to that is clearly no. This was a situation, and I'll read just briefly from the report. The officer had shouted commands heard by witnesses while he had his gun pointed at the car. The operator drove toward the officer. The physical evidence is consistent with the operator veering right as he approached the officer and his drawn weapon. A natural human reaction is to turn away from the danger posed by the gun. As the operator veered to the right, he exposed his left flank to the officer, who had already committed to fire. The first shot hit the victim in the left side, penetrated his lung and heart, and exited the chest. The second and third shots were fired after the car passed the officer. This entire sequence likely transpired in less than 2 seconds. A police officer, like anyone else, is required to retreat to safety to avoid combat if that would be a reasonable option to avoid imminent danger. But he is not required to if in so doing he further endangers himself by pinning himself against his car or by trying to guess at the real intention of the operator, who has evidenced by all of his actions that he is a threat to the safety of persons, including the officer. The police will conduct their own sort of critical analysis review and, draw lessons from that. And that's something that's done in any case like this. And I'm sure they're going to do that, and perhaps Chief Almonte may speak to that at some point.
What's the status of the officer now?
Chief.
He's still currently assigned administrative duties. He will finish up some of his detective cases that he's working on, and he will return to full duty. There is no timetable for that, however, at this point. And I would like to say that I want to express our condolences to the Martins family for the loss of Andreas, and that the Yarmouth Police Department, as indicated by the District Attorney, we've given full cooperation to the District Attorney throughout this important, lengthy investigation. And we support the findings of the District Attorney's report and investigation.
This morning I had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Martins in Brazil, the father of the deceased. I had the opportunity to speak with the ambassador and general counsel from Boston of the Brazilian government, and I had the opportunity also to speak with the leaders of the Brazilian community who I've spoken to during the course of the investigation and now subsequent to its conclusion, so that they know what the results are and the reasons for them.